Okay, so this is the third session of Tesla backtesting. So we are going to do March 3rd at 11:51. So we have Tesla above 300, which is a key level. You can see it chopping around a little bit in the morning. We had an initial gap up, so it's looking pretty good from Tesla, but we also have to check SPX. SPX is looking good. It's above 5938. It's crossing. And then QQQ is kind of in the middle of nowhere relative to the major levels, but SPX and Tesla above those key levels, that should be good enough to make the bet. And my guess is we're going to go with a call to the upside. So let's see how it plays out. And that did not go as planned. So let's see what happens here. Yeah, so we lost that trade. So we can analyze this. It looks good to me to start. The only thing that was kind of out of place was the Qs, and then it was kind of a chopping around. Let's see what it looks like on the higher time frame. Yeah, SPX looked good as well. On the higher time frame, it is somewhat on the downtrend on the daily chart, and then QQQ is somewhat on the downtrend, and then Tesla. Uh, yeah, so I guess it makes it a little harder to play upside, but it still looks like a good setup. So I don't think there's anything wrong with taking that trade. It's just it could be stronger if everything is trending upwards. But I guess he is trying to play the bounce. So that one lost, and then the next one we have is March 11th. March 11th at 2:50 p.m. So this is reclaiming. It looks like we're bottoming here and we're about to trend upwards, but there's still the higher time frame that could be holding Tesla down. And SPX above 5600, that's very strong. So and then QQQ, this everything's lining up. So this looks like a good trade. I expect it to work out. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so the next day it gapped up, and I feel like we were going to take trailers. Let's see where the coach took the trailers. This was the 245 call. And it's Tesla through 233. 233 or 232, same thing, right? So it's crossed 232. It's on the bounce back up, and then I'm pretty sure we take it off here. So 249 at the end of the day. I haven't seen a lot of those. And then he just takes everything off on the next day, which I have seen that pattern before. So at the start of the day, he said just take all the profit off. So 245. And that was just a simple trade to get all out. And he almost doubled that. He went from 5.6 to 9. Yeah, 5.6 to 9.5. So that was one of the cases where it was the next day, and then he immediately rolls at 9:45 to 2:55 roll. Sorry, 9:34. So on the same line here. Uh, yeah, we can't do the minute to. If we had minute to minute data, it'd be probably better. But that's what we'll do for now. And the roll from 245 did not work out. So when I compare it to the original in the November 2024, Tesla had momentum, it had news, it had clear upside. This is trying to right now on the higher time frame, this is trying to bounce after being after the stock getting beat up. So there's still no clear direction on what's going on. So you could still try the rolls, but it's the probability of it working out is a lot lower than when the stock is just trending upwards, right? When the stock is trending upwards, eventually it will cap and you'll lose there. But when it's trending downwards and you're trying to catch the upside, the 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 momentum is still going towards the downside. So just keep that in mind when you are trying to do those types of plays. Okay, so that one was a loser. And then the next one is March 21st, which is actually like 9 days later. So later on, we'll investigate why there was such a lull and just learn to avoid the situations where there's no good setups. So this is a Friday. 12:23. 245 Lotto. And let's see what's happening on the SPX. Looking pretty good. Looking really good. So would take this trade 90% of the time, 99% of the time. And let's see how it plays out. So we likely will take our profits within the first day. And that was a 12:30, 12:23 start time. So a little later in the day than we're used to. Usually it's between like 9:30 and 10 o'clock is where I see most of the entry points. Or it could be between 9:30 and 10:30. And then we will go into our Discord and see what trades actually happened. So 1231. So almost immediate profit take, which is a good type of trade. TP1. And then all out at 353. Perfect. So it popped up here as well. So we have to decipher between when are they going to go all out and when do they do the half, quarter, quarter. So there's two scenarios. He goes half, quarter, quarter in terms of selling profit targets, and then sometimes he'll go half and then all out half again. So we just have to pay attention to those little details, and then that will give us an extra edge when we are trying to make our own trades. So 1231, which is 8 minutes. Those are the best ones. And then 351, which is end of the day. And that was about 3 hours. That was pretty much the whole day after we had bought in, and it just spiked at the end. I also noticed it does spike at the end there in the last 30 minutes or so, so we always have to be aware of that. Um, and that this is the end of the week. This is the Friday, so we're not rolling into next week. It's too much risk. Okay, so that was a great trade. It was a lotto because there was only one day left. Actually, only like a couple hours left. But I noticed on a lot of the trades that he makes, he's taking the profit relatively soon. So most of the times he doesn't need more than a day. It's just weekly gives him a little more chance to get to have the trade work out. But a lot of times the trade works out the first day. So he could be taking zero DTEs if they existed on the Tesla, and I think he would still be very profitable. So March 24th, which is the next Monday, and right at the open 9:30, we have some action here. Oh, we didn't have to go very far. Okay, we have a gap up. This time we go 270C. And it's the Tesla gap up. Let's see what's going on with SCX. This is looking great. So it seems like on the higher time frame, we're on a bounce now, and we can now play it to the upside. So this trade, I would say, is highly likely to work out, but because there's still an overarching downward frame, downward trend on the higher time frame, there might not be much continuation here. Okay, so I think we'll have taken profit before this ends. So let's see. 270. 949 is the first take. Here. And then the next scale is 1005. Here. Which is a quarter, and then he still has another quarter left. and then 1028 all out, all out. So it just takes the quick profit along the way, and then it looks like there will likely be a roll. So let's just mark those times. We have 10:05. Oh, sorry, we have 9:49 and then 10:05. And then we are going to do a roll, and the roll is at 10:17, which is actually back here. So we kind of overlap the rolls. Pay close attention to that, because before we even close this one out, we started the next one. And this is the 277.5, which is going to take some time to learn which strikes to take, when to take them, when to roll it, when to cut it loose. 349. So first TP1 is 349 of the same day. And at the same time, he did a roll up, and he still had a half of his position left. And then the next day, so I'll play it and then come back. So then on the 25th, he goes all out at 312 here. $325 at 312. So he almost waits till the end of the day, which actually is not normal. Well, it's not It's not quick profit take. So we have to pay attention there. And then, yeah, we happen to enter March 24th at 3:51. So right when we took TP1, we bought in 285. So before we even closed it out, we bought another one. I guess we were assuming it was going to go up, so we just bought in. Or it's just the speed thing. Hmm. So we rolled up before we closed out. The question is, will we ever get stuck where we have too many options at the same time and they all go to zero? That would be a concern. So the 25th at 3:36. TP1, 3:36. And then we also did a roll at that exact same time. So we're like staggering these rolls. I do not see where this one got closed out though. So we might have got caught here with doing too many rolls. Yeah, so we only got the 285. We took the half out at 3:36. The next day. Okay. So the 285s. Where are the 285s getting closed out? Missing that record. He's stopped out somewhere. I'm guessing it happened Wednesday at 10:20, the 25th. It's not there, but I can guess based on the past things he's done. When it's headed towards the key level, he just stops out. Doesn't want anything to do with it. Okay, so then there was also a roll at the 25th at 3:37. So this is the same time. And that one did not work out. So let's play it out till the 28th. I don't think those ever recovered. And then we took another one March 28th, March 27th. March 27th, 10:55. So just crossing 290, pretty standard. Again, we're still trying to get out of this bounce, so we have to have an understanding of the higher time frame. That's why a lot of these rolls are kind of just dying out. SPX looking pretty good. QQQ kind of in the middle of the range, so not the ideal setup, but it could work out. See, I understand why they took this because there's not a lot of Tesla trades going on, and it's easy to try to force it, or you just have to take what you can get. And this one does not work out. The Qs were not in the best spot. SPX was in okay spot, but the higher time frame, these things are still like doing creating a bottom, so there's no clear direction. We're trying to go up, but it's not necessarily going up. So that one is a loser, and that is a Thursday. So we move on to the next week, which I'm sure we're gonna have similar problems for the next couple trades, even if the setups look good. So this is a Friday, 12:50. It says it's a 180 call. That doesn't make any sense. I don't have a record for this. I'm just gonna mark this. Okay, so there's something wrong with that record. The date could be wrong there. Yeah, so this one, we don't know if that's an actual trade. April 2nd, 11:22. Looks pretty good. SPX. Okay, so SPX looking pretty good. Higher time frame, trying to bounce, had a bounce attempts, trying to bounce again. We're creating a bottom here. From the chart, looks okay. Not amazing because it's not above the line. QQQ above, but not amazing because it's right in the middle. Tesla looks pretty good, but not not amazing, but could work out. And I would take the profit quick here. So the 230. I believe this is 280. Just gonna update this. So that was 6 minutes. And then we took a fourth. At 11:37, which is 15 minutes. And then 12:22. Which was a quarter. Overall, that was a really good trade. Just a couple typos in the records. And that was a lotto. And we caught that wave there. And it was only like an hour. I think it was like a 40, 60, 80 within the hour. You really have to be there on the spot to take advantage of it. And I think we have a roll coming up here. Oh, there's some typos here. This is a typo. Yeah, there might have been a Tesla trade there, but it looks like a typo. Okay, so then 20 days go by, and we have to investigate why only there's 20 days without any Tesla activity. And then it's April 23rd at 10:30. Okay, so we're right under the level, which I prefer to be over the level, but is what it is. QQQ has crossed and gapping up, so that looks good. SPX gapping up, not crossing, but I guess good enough. This is kind of borderline, but I could see why he took the trade. I'm concerned about this 550 SPX actually blocking this. So if it hits resistance, it could bring Tesla down with it. So probably still take the trade, but wouldn't be that confident that it would be profitable or continuation. So I guess this is what they call a lotto. So let's see how it plays out. So going to that trade, we should know that it's probably not going to continue to play crazy. Okay, let's stop it here. And he probably knows that going into it. That's why if he's done it for 14 years, the intuition's probably showing he knows that it's like a quick profit take, if anything, and he's probably ready to stop out. So let's go all the way down to the 23rd. There we go. And he sells at 10:37. So he knows this is a quick trade. TP1. TP1. And that was Tesla held 251. So it wasn't going off this getting above, it was going off of 251 being held. I haven't seen that one before, but we'll take we'll take his advice on that. So he sold almost immediately half the position, and then at 11:28, which he could have sold here, but I guess it is on the way down. Just kind of like a stop out. Yeah, that looks like a stop out to me. Oh, that's the full amount. Yeah, so I guess he didn't know that it was not going to go up, and then he said, "Okay, let's cut it." And yeah, so that was a stop out. So that was 6 minutes. We had a quick profit take there. And then we had to stop out. And my note is going to say the higher time frame still not with the clear direction. So it does make it harder to trade these underlyings. Like we could still take quick trades, but there's not going to be continuation, and then we're gonna get caught sometimes. So I think this is where he takes the half and then the full instead of the quarter because he doesn't actually know if it's gonna go up or not. Okay, then we take another lotto. We take another lotto on 260C, 260 call, and that's on the 24th at 10:15. Okay, so lotto second try. Again, it's above 256. Um, we're missing some levels here. Levels are good for the Qs. Higher time frame. Yeah, we're still at the bottom here trying to bounce. So I'm going to fill in some of the levels for SPX. Just give me a second here. All right, I think we have enough levels here. So on the higher time frame, SPX is still trying to bounce along with Tesla and QQQ. So we had a peak here. We tried to bounce here, didn't happen. We're trying to bounce again. So it could get a little choppy here. Tougher trading conditions than we had before. So we just have to be careful. I think there's still profit you can take, but don't expect continuation. And if the profit's there, take it really quick. Don't let the thing play out. So I kind of understand. I'm starting to understand why they say it's trickier conditions based on the higher time frame. It's a lot harder to trade. Okay, we got the 260. 10:15. Let's play it out. Yeah, so we got out of Tesla at 9:36 on the 25th. No. Yeah, 9:36. So as you can see, after a day, it gets up to the target, but there's no actual profit left. Theta decay has eaten it up. So in order to make our money quickly, we need the thing to pop pretty soon. Even if you hit the next level, theta decay is already eaten the whole thing up. So that one made a little bit, pretty much broke even. 9:36, 2025. So we have to keep that in mind. We don't really want to hold on to that theta decay so it eats us up. So that was almost the whole day, and we stopped out. So April 25th at 10:07. So through 265, that's exactly what happened. SPX, let's see where it is. Don't love it. Not crossing, it's kind of chopping around in between. Also don't love it, chopping around in between. This would probably be a shorter trade. There's probably not going to be a lot of continuation on this. I don't even know if this is a good trade to take, but if you're sitting around and there's no trades and this opportunity presents itself, you probably take it. And it seems to work out well. Let's see. SPX happened to rip above. QQQ happened to rip above. So I think we got a little lucky that those ones ripped above because they were not really doing anything. But Tesla and the other stocks could have led the way. So you might want to watch what the other bigger stocks were doing as well. So 267. Yeah, he's saying, let's see if Tesla breaks here. So I think when he takes this trade, he's willing to let go of it and not size to zero. He might just take it out if it fails to break. So he takes the half at 10:10. So he takes it really soon because of what happened last time, probably. No, that was 40%, so it makes sense. And then he takes a quarter at 10:12. Pretty much the same thing. Okay. And then 267 all out at 10:15. Let's say it's here. So he takes it really quick. 267. TP3. He takes all three, and I'm assuming there's going to be a roll here. So let me just get these times in for our records. Ten, 10, 10, 12. Ten, 15. And there's a roll up exactly at 10:15. We got to be quick on those. I don't know how we're going to execute those in real time. Unless we have it waiting somehow. Might only be able to do that with interactive brokers. We're going to have to look at that. Because if these opportunities only show up once a year, we're going to have to be ready, knowing how to actually execute those trades. So 10:33. Then we have 10:35. P2. All out 10:41. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm assuming he's doing another roll up. $10.33. $10.35. $10.41. So there was some continuation on Tesla there, and we learned that we have to be ready. And there's another roll up at 10:42. So it gets initiated right when he closes this one out. Takes the first one at 11:14. TP1. 34. All out at 1242. 'So these are the roll-ups for this 280, which looks pretty good. And then there's another roll-up, of course. 1134, 1220. Okay, that one looks good. And then we rolled up again. 25th. That's 1135. Mm, 1242. So we sold two contracts at the same time. And I do not see, I think we stopped out. That was a Friday. And then the next week, a 300C, and I'm just going to put the actual time in here. Oh, I see. So trying to cross this 290, running off the momentum from the previous roll-ups, SPX below QQQ, kind of above. Not strong, but I guess if he's rolling up from the previous trades, he's got nothing to lose. Yeah, and that trade lost. So usually within the day, first 2 days, if it doesn't get there, the contract, in my opinion, is pretty much done. Sometimes you can recover, but it seems like most of the trades he's taking the profit relatively soon, like within the first hour. And the higher time frame, I'm starting to see it does affect if there's continuation or not, but continuation can still happen even in non-perfect scenarios. So the next one is May 9th. This is a Friday, so this is, yeah, it is a lot. We have Tesla above 290 with a strong candle. We have SPX in the middle, but it's gapped up above its level. This is looking really good. And QQQ has gapped up above it. So I think this is highly likely to work out because the higher time frame is not aligned moving really up. I don't know how much continuation there's going to be. Yeah, so we probably just took a quick profit there. We're on the May 9th one, so. So that was a lotto. It sold at 936. I think the 40% gain is so quick because Theta hasn't had a chance to eat away at it. And then you have 943. Yeah, so the optimal case is we get it to move right away. And then as we get better, we'll be able to spot uh, those scenarios more often and avoid the ones that don't work out, and then 957. So you got to be quick on those ones because they're not going to have continuation. And then I probably wouldn't roll up there. Uh, well, if we're just here, then we probably would roll up. But if we saw this play out, yeah, I guess we would roll up because we wouldn't know any better. And then 942, 310, 310 roll up. So let's go top now. And this one just does not get back. Interesting. He took 2 weeks out on this one. He took a May 16th on this one, but still did not work out. No, it did work out. It did work out. On the 12th, he sold it. Let's see. On the 9th, and then it was the next week. So I guess if he could take those sometimes. 930 cashed out. 310 C. And he made significant money there. The exit was 1680. Whoa. So it was the next Monday, and they just gapped up. As soon as the bell rang. And then so he took the 310, but then he also rolled the 305. The 305 at 1118. So he saw it starting to go up, wanted to roll it. He took the 305, and he did not make money on that one. So the 305, the end of the week, that was a lotto, but then he took 2 weeks out because it was crossing 300, and he thought it was a good play. Hmm. Okay. Lots to learn. Okay, so we go on May 12th at 9:49. Okay, so we made profit there and then we decided to roll it again. It's above 313, but are we in a good spot with SPX? We did gap up. Yeah, I don't know how good of a bet this one is because it could tank all the way back down. But if we're just playing with profit, I guess it matters less. Not sure. Do we, for the roll-ups, are we going to be as disciplined? It's actually here. So they're both curling up, but they're right on the line there. They could get rejected. And SPX is in a good spot. 5,800 is a pretty strong level to stay above once it crosses. So yeah, it'll probably work out. And it's a roll, so we're risking less. So it's the 325, May 16th, which is the end of the week. 1024. So then he gets out on the 13th for that contract at 10:05. But he make money though. Yeah, he makes more money. So he waits a day. $10.05. And then $10.24. Okay. And then we roll 5, 13, 10.05. 10:05. And then he sells at 10:05, like immediately. No, that's the other one. So he buys it at the same time he sells it. Okay, so he might have some automations there. 335 sells half at 133. The alerts lost the alert for this 335. So we probably just took the profit there and rolled again. So 150. We took another roll. 345C. And then 930 we get all out, which is common when it gaps up like that, and then we could just restart the contract if you want. And then we did just that. We restarted the contract for the 950 now at 934. I'm just gonna put it here because it's easier. So we're rolling these ones. So this is the 350. 936. Quick move. It's crazy. Like 2 minutes. Gotta be ready. and then 1143. This is TP2. TP1 I couldn't even put on there because it's instant. And then the last is at 1146. And I guess he says it's starting to die. So let's just preserve our profit. Because it hit the 350 level too. We're probably not going to get above that. So TP3. All right, so let's put those times in. 1146. So we have to keep in mind what are the strike prices we're taking? When are we rolling? How quickly are we taking out the profits? And when are we stopping out versus letting it run? And what's the higher time frame? Like, is it likely to continue? Do we continue to roll? All those little things are nuanced points that probably took him forever to learn, but we get to learn because we are doing backtesting on his perfect, pretty much perfect execution. 1145, 14th at 1145. Okay, it's here as well. The 360 roll. I'm guessing this doesn't make money. It does not make money. So it seems like we just take the profit. We take the profit, and the roll happens pretty much at the same time or right before. If we think, uh, if we're confident, it's going to continue going up. Like there's a news event or the higher time frame is aligned and everything looks good. But there is a skill in taking out that maximizing the profit. Things are happening so quick. So May 16th, which is a Friday, is 9:34. He doesn't seem to be scared of taking bets on Friday with Tesla. Okay, so there's a gap up. We wait out the first 4 minutes. We have to kind of drill down and see if those minutes matter to get a clear direction. So we have SPX kind of gapping up above a key level or defending the key level. QQQ kind of gapping up. Tesla ripping through a key level, and then this is considered a lotto. I think it will probably do well. the 5900 defending should bump it up, but it is also a lotto, so it may not go through. That one did not go through. I guess there was not enough time for it to get through. Let's see what happened to SPX. SPX kind of got up there. Tesla did not follow. QQQ kind of got up there. So that's somewhat predictable. And let's just look what Tesla looks like on the higher time frame right now, because we've been going through the down phase and then the up phase. Are we near the top again? Okay, so it was going down, caught the well, first we had the up, and then it started coming down, and then we were basing here, and now it seems like we're on a clear uptrend. Like it's more likely to go up than not. Uh, the 20th, May 20th. The 300 call. Huh? Doesn't make any sense. It's gotta be wrong. May 20th. It's a 360 call. That makes more sense. Let's correct that. It's going to be Tesla through 343. Oh, this might be because of how I imported the records. I got Grok to import the records from a PDF, so there might be some clerical errors. 934, SBX above the key level, QQQ dropping below 521. Not that strong of a bet. Relative strength, I think this is more of a lotto. That did not make money. May 22nd, 1124. We said, okay, one last try on Tesla here. 1124. That that looks good. Okay, SPX, kind of not there yet. Below. QQQ kind of not in an amazing position, but still possibly a play. I don't think there's going to be crazy continuation, but let's see how it goes. Whoa. So Tesla, he did not make money on that one. Why not though? There was space here. I don't know. May 27th. So he's saying this is a lotto, 10 points of upside before a hard level. So 363 is the hard level. Yeah, 363 is the hard level because of there. Yeah, we have to know the difference between levels. Not all levels are created equally. 1259. And then we have a roll. 114. What? Tell me all those levels didn't get deleted. Whatever. May 30, May 27. May 'Try it again. May 27th. 114. 114. 370. Roll with profits. Did not roll anywhere. Okay, that one's done. Okay. Now we are headed into the big trades. So I'm just gonna stop here.